Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Dearion Stokes, who will fight on CK Fighting for May 30th. Hello, Dearion. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good. And in just around a week, you will make your pro debut. And I think that it's kind of a really anticipated fight because you had an absolutely great amateur career. So, if you can tell me, how happy are you that you will make this move and you will fight as the pro?
Man, I'm extremely excited. It's been a long time coming. I've been trying to make my debut since 2024. Really, I've been trying to uh, find a fight, find a matchup at the right weight, which is flyweight. Now it's gonna be making my pro debut. I fought mostly as an amateur at 35, with some fights at 45, but mostly 35 because it just didn't really make sense to cut the weight if I wasn't going to be getting paid for it. So now that I'm going to be fighting at the right weight, I'm just excited to prove people wrong who've been doubting me and really make a splash.
And in your amateur career, you not only won a few belts in a few different promotions, but you also, as the like last chapter of your amateur career, won a world championship.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, Yeah, it's been a very unorthodox journey with my amateur career. Most people do maybe like 5 or 6 fights as an amateur, then they kind of make that jump to the pro level. See my thought process, I just wanted to see as many styles as I could before I made that jump. So it'd really just be a streamlined shot to the big show, to the UFC, which is my dream, is my goal, become a UFC champion. So I just really want to just get as much experience as I can, seeing as many different styles before I made that jump. And competing at the international level was really big and huge towards that goal. And I'm just happy I had the opportunity to do it, man. It's just been a great opportunity.
And actually, you also beat a lot of like good amateur prospects. So I think that also it is important that you fought against like really good fighters. And in your pro debut, do you think that your opponent will can present any challenges for you?
Really, I feel like I never underestimate anybody. It'll be a tough matchup, regardless. Anybody who steps into that cage, you're a different person when you do that. You're just a part of the, I like to say, the 1% of the world who's willing to take that risk and put themselves out there. So definitely not underestimating my opponent at all. I think it's really anytime I step in the cage, it's me versus me. I'm my own worst enemy. So I just gotta make sure I'm staying sharp and I'm firing off on all cylinders. As long as I'm doing me and I'm feeling good, I don't feel like anybody can beat me in the world.
And it will be your first fight in around a year because last time you fought, I believe it was June. And right now, how active would you like to be in like next few months?
I'd like to at least fight 2 more times this year. At least I want to end 2026 3-0. That was my goal. I originally wanted to have 4 fights this year, but it just didn't pan out that way. I wanted to get a fight within the first quarter of the year, the first 4 months, but I had something signed for April, but that fight fell through. So hopefully after this one, I can get at least 2 more fights in before the year's out.
And sometimes the like cancel fights is like a problem on the regional scene because you sometimes there are fighters who are like booked all the time and the
Hmm.
opponents like are pulling out. So you have to be lucky in some ways too.
Yes, 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 yes. It's definitely the luck of the draw, finding a dance partner who's willing to fight, who's willing to put their record um to the test. Because I mean, we're in a day and age now that people want to protect their O as much as possible. But with MMA, it's a lot different than boxing. You don't need to be an undefeated prospect in order to get to the show. If you're fighting solid guys, or if you're getting finishes and knockouts, you're gonna get that invitation to the big show. You have a decent following, they're going to get you there. They're going to get you the opportunity. But the biggest thing is being able to take advantage of the opportunity. Have you fought the tough guys before you've made that jump, so that you're not a fish out of water. You're not getting there like, oh shit, I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. What you see, a lot of these guys who do get to the show, they're not prepared for that jump. So I just didn't want to be me. I didn't want that to happen to me and be in that same situation. So um, I'm happy right now that I'm able to find somebody who can get me on the path to get to the show.
And if you can tell me how your like overall journey with MMA and with combat sports started. So how old were you when you first went to the like gym?
Well, getting into combat sports started for me in high school. I started wrestling in high school. I actually did it just to get better at football, and I ended up um, getting caught. What do we call the hit with the wrestling bug? And I just never left. I loved. I ended up enjoying it a little bit more than football over time. So that became my passion. And then I boxed a little bit as a kid on and off, but not really super consistent. So once my wrestling career ended in college, I started boxing consistently, and I loved it. I loved it. I want to be able to use my wrestling experience. So after taking a couple boxing matches on the amateur level, I made the jump to amateur MMA, and it's felt like home ever since.
And when you started your like full MMA journey, to what was the first team that you and the gym that you went to?
Okay, so the first gym that I went to for my MMA journey was Red's Boxing. Red's Boxing Club is out in Sioux City, Iowa. That's where I finished out my college wrestling career, and I got my master's degree out there as well at Briarcliff University. So one of my head, well, he's my head assistant coach at the time. He's the head coach now at Briarcliff University. He had a fighting career. I want to say he went 5-0 as an MMA fighter, Nico Watts. He got me in contact with a boxing coach in town, Brett Welling, and he at the time had a guy on his roster, Draco Rodriguez. He made it to the UFC. He was fighting under King of the Cage. He was getting ready to do the Danny White Contender Series. So I had linked up with him, started training with him, and that was kind of like my first experience into the fight gyms, the fight teams, just the whole training, the grind, and I loved it, man. I just worked really closely with him, and I followed his blueprint into how I should kind of start my career and really just focus on getting my hands together, getting the parts of my game that wasn't as fluid as my wrestling, because I know I would always have my wrestling to lean on. So I just wanted to make sure I sharpened up all my skills and my tools, and he kind of opened my eyes to that.
And right now, with which team you are with?
Right now, I cross train. I'm with Mission MMA. I also train at Valley Flow Striking. They have a great guys, Bilal Muhammad, Yair Rodriguez, Ignacio Bamhudes. They have a Chuck Radke. They have a lot of UFC guys there as well. So I just go there a couple times out the week, as well as Apex House of Grappling and a UFC gym in Morgan Park. So I'm usually at about four or five different gyms throughout the week, but my main gyms are Mission MMA and Valley Flow.
And with Valley Flow, that they have this kind of like you mentioned, a few fighters like great striking and like with some creative movements, with creative strikes. So I think that who knows, maybe in your next fight you will get some kind of crazy action in striking
Oh yeah,
department.
yeah, yes, yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, I'm extremely athletic, so I love anything I can see that's kind of like explosive, a little bit of fancy, maybe a little spinning heel kick, something like that. Hopefully I'll try to land something spectacular to get the reels jumping and get the Instagram and TikTok followers hyped about it.
Yes, definitely. This kind of viral moments can help the fighter because from one action, everybody will know who you are.
Yep, yep. Once it happens, the key is catching that lightning in the bottle and really capitalizing off of it, getting that content out, and just getting your face and your name out as much as possible, building that brand. So that's what I'm really trying to get big on and really focus on, especially once I get this professional debut out the way. Is just getting my content out to the people and using my social media to give me more opportunities.
And of course, you will make your pro debut, but you are not just a guy who is making pro debut because of your amateur career. And when you have if you have the kind of plan to get to the big leagues, so especially the UFC, do you have a like timeline for when you would like to get there?
I'm trying to get there hopefully by the end of next year. I love to be 6, 7-0 and getting that call, to get on the contender series or even a short notice fight. I wouldn't even mind that either. So hopefully within the next 2 years, I'm in the show knocking on the door. If you would have asked me in 2024, I would have said 2026. I want to be in the show because that was my plan is to get as many fights as possible just so I can get my opportunity. Time's ticking. You never know what can happen. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to still be healthy and be able to compete, but I don't want to take anything for granted. I want to get there as soon as I can.
But I think that right now it's quite possible to do things like this because there are fighters who made their pro debut and less than 2 years later they are in the UFC. So it's from one side it's kind of crazy, but from the other it's quite possible, especially
Yep,
with your results.
yep, yep. And you got to be a little bit delusional. You got to be a little bit crazy, um, in order to dream. You know, to have ambition, to go towards your goals. So you got to be a little crazy. Everybody's gonna think that you're delusional, but in your mind, you got to know that you're right and you're on the right path.
And actually, I think that flyweight division on the regional scene is quite deep. There are a lot of great prospects, and of course, in the UFC, a lot of things are happening right now. And how impressed are you with current UFC champion Joshua Van?
I'm extremely impressed with him. His ability to be fluid on his feet, get up when taken down, and keep the fight kind of in his element. And I think he's really good. I feel like he has the potential to be a champion for a while. But I'm very interested to see his matchup with Pantoja again, and actually see a full fight with those two. I think it'll be really, really good with Pantoja being healthy. So I'm really excited for his next title fight.
Yes, and actually, like Pantoja is the second best flyweight in the history. So
Yeah.
definitely, especially after the last fight, the last Joshua Van fight, I think that this fight against Pantoja would be like super big, probably one of the biggest in a while in a
Oh yeah.
flyweight division.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Potelja, he was in the crowd for that last fight, so he didn't seem a little bit too impressed, especially with the way Van was talking on the mic afterwards. He seemed like he has a little bit of animosity, he wants to get his belt back. So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be fireworks, man. I'm excited for the whole entire future of the division. It's some really good up and coming guys as well. So I'm just want to put my name in that hat and show people what I can do.
And getting back to your fight, do you think that there can be like some kind of different nerves before your pro debut than it was before? So before your amateur fights?
No, I mean I've fought between amateurs, MMA, and amateur boxing. What I have about 18 fights. So I mean, I still have nerves. Nerves are normal, but it's not like anything extra. It's just another day in the life for me. It's something that I'm used to doing. I fought on the world stage. I fought in for titles and belts in front of home crowd and enemy crowd. So it's just another day in the life for me, man. It's nothing that I'm gonna put too much more emphasis on than it already is. It's just another fight. Somebody else is trying to knock my head off. I'm trying to knock their head off. So I'm not gonna think too much on it, but I'm just excited just to finally be a professional. The way I carry myself already is in the manner of a professional, but just to be able to get that first dub, want to know, get that monkey off my back. I'm just really excited for it.
Okay, Darion. So many thanks for the time and for conversation. I think that the like the debut will be really impressive, and I hope that you will be back in the cage quite soon to get another win.
Yes, I'm hoping so too. Whether it's with CK Fighting, Fury, LFA, open to all promotions. I just want to fight. I just want to be active, man. I love competing. I love the sport. I just want to see where I measure up against some of the best people in the world. You know, trying to figure out the puzzles and come out on top. So I'm super excited for the future. One of my main training partners, he's already had his pro debut, Rudolph Johnson III, out for Fury. So me and him, we've been just sharpening our swords and preparing for this run that we're trying to go on.